The Los Angeles Temptation are one of the unbeatens in the Western Conference, while the Austin Acoustic are fighting for their playoff lives. Next.
I just want to be given the chance.
You were the pioneers that built women's football.
The opportunity to succeed. Or even to fail.
You are the league of their own.
Figure out what the you need to do mentally to be able to sacrifice everything for the girl next to you.
You better knock the shit out of it.
Put the hurt on them first. Keep them on the ground. Stick your foot on their throat.
LFL Football Night has arrived to Austin, Texas. Welcome inside the booth of LFL Football Night. Mitch Mortaza alongside Bobby Huco. We are at the HEB Center in Austin, Texas, one of my favorite towns. And we've got a great matchup. The Los Angeles Temptation taking on the Austin Acoustic. Los Angeles as good as they've ever looked on the roster side. And with Austin, here's a team vastly improved from their 2016 season, although their record doesn't necessarily reflect that.
Despite their injuries, and they have a lot, it's a very good football team. The problem is they played one of the LFL's toughest schedules. They already played Seattle, Atlanta. Tonight they have the powerhouse LA Temptation. But I really like what head coach Mike Oliveira did with that offense. It's now a pass-happy offense with Tashay Winfrey. She's record-setting right now. Fun to watch. I imagine they're going to try to do that tonight against LA.
No, absolutely. You talked about Tashay Winfrey. That is your number one quarterback in the LFL. Look it up, folks. QBR rating of 132. And when she looks to sling it, where's she going? To the Smurfs. You haven't heard about them before. They're the small receivers for Austin, led by Cassandra Bills, the home run threat for Austin. Great hands. We have seen what she can do all season. Opposite her, Leilani Lopez, the very short receiver, but a great slot possession-type receiver for Winfrey. And then it's the injured Smurf, Michelle Marshall. You could see her not dressed for this game. They do expect her back in the latter half of this season. And then Kendria Robinson. She's done a lot of damage on the defensive side of the ball. Doesn't get as many touches on offense. When she does, they usually count. Now let's talk about Los Angeles for a little bit here, Bobby Huco. They've had a little bit of influx and turmoil at the quarterback position.
A lot of controversy this week. Head coach Tui Suinoa, he's benching starting quarterback Ashley Salerno. Allegedly, Salerno punched backup quarterback Kiara Patterson, which is unbelievable if that happened. We don't know that. We heard that. Anyway, Patterson is starting tonight in place of Salerno. She has a history in the league. She's started some games before. She has a powerful arm and a great running quarterback. We'll see how it goes tonight with Patterson.
I know the feeling. I've struck you a couple times in the booth here, but that is unbelievable. Ashley Salerno and Kiara Patterson possibly going at it. Patterson will get the start. Ashley Salerno is expected to see some playing time. That'll wrap it for us here at the pregame show. Next up, it's the silver and black Los Angeles Temptation and the Austin Acoustic. Say it with me. Kickoff is next. Back to LFL Football Night, a beautiful look at downtown Austin, Texas, as we get you underway for LFL Football Night. Mitch Mortaza and Bobby Huco. And that is Lily Cranston of Los Angeles. She will get us underway. A nice high, deep kick. Kendria Robinson, the speedy wideout, will get it out to about the 15-yard line.
This should be a fun game tonight. Tashay Winfrey, the quarterback for Austin, she's on a record-setting pace right now. Going against the secondary of LA, this would be a fun matchup.
That is Tashay Winfrey, the league's #1 leading passer. And you don't know how significant that is until you look back at her 2016 rookie season, where she really struggled, especially with turning the ball over.
Her stats right there, an incredible rating of 134, 20 out of 32. The big numbers, 8 touchdown passes and 0, I repeat, 0 interceptions.
A 1st and 10 for the Austin offense, and Winfrey sacked. That ball is loose. Kiana Takarangi, Los Angeles touchdown.
Head coach Tui Suinoa said they're going to be coming off the edge trying to get to Winfrey, and Naja Christmas, watch the speed rush from the outside, just strips her, and then Kiana Takarangi picks it up and takes it in for a 6. The first play of the game, unbelievable.
A 14-yard pickup and run back by Takarangi. Takarangi, a sure blocker on the offensive side of the ball. Defensively, Johnny on the spot.
Naja Christmas with a hands rush. She punched and get her on the outside of Chastity Morales. What a play to start the game for Los Angeles.
There is Kiera Patterson getting the start in place of Ashley Salerno. Lining up here for the 1-point conversion. And she's going to keep it herself into the end zone. That is an element Patterson will give you his mobility as Los Angeles now stretches lead 7-0 early in this game.
Kiera Patterson is a solid quarterback. She has great wheels that we saw right there. She's an interesting story. Her numbers not that great. She only played a little bit in the second half in the first game against Omaha, 2 out of 3, 1 touchdown pass. That's interesting right there. We heard about the fight between these two, and they're getting along here early in the game.
That's good to see. And better yet, Ashley Salerno, the knock on her has been her maturity, and she seems to be handling this benching pretty well. Now a 1st and 10 for Tashay Winfrey in Austin. Oh, a high snap. Winfrey does recover it and sails it 8 rows into the stands. So not very good play early on by this offense.
That's been a problem all season long in the center position. Brandy Stolte knocked out with an injury. The replacement, first off, Steph McCormick was in there. She's knocked out with an injury. Then Brandy Stolte got knocked out with an arm injury. Nicole Stoffel right in. She's playing right now, but she has a hand injury. Big problems at center right now for Austin.
Center play has been rampantly bad across the league in 2017. More so here than any place else. Now Winfrey from the shotgun fakes the handoff to Robinson and keeps it herself. She'll get it down to about the 24-yard line. A great 11-yard scramble by Tashay Winfrey.
A great read on the spread option. She watched Tiana Takaranga go out with the wide receiver. There's nobody inside. She tucked the football. Great read by Winfrey.
That is an 11-yard carry setting up an Austin first down after that rough start with Chastity Morales missing that edge block on Naja Christmas. That is what led us to our score, 7-0. Now Austin a 1st and 10 from the 24 of Los Angeles. Rolling right, Winfrey into the flat, complete. That is complete to Chastity Morales. Now let's meet the starters for Austin.
Leilani Lopez, receiver.
Cassandra Bills, wide receiver. Brenda Lee, tight end.
Chastity Morales,
Tight end.
Nicole Stoffel,
Center.
Michelle Marshall, running back.
Tashay Winfrey, quarterback.
It's going to be interesting if wide receiver Cassandra Bills can get on top of safeties Lily Granston and Danielle Harvey.
A 2nd and 1, ball at the Los Angeles 15. Winfrey back to pass with pressure and nearly completing to Kendria Robinson. Danielle Harvey in this defense. Let's meet their starters.
Tiana Anderson, corner.
Chelsea Hart,
Quarter. Danielle Harvey, safety. Lily Granston, free safety. Megan Hansen, linebacker. Naja Christmas, defensive end.
Kiana Takarangi, defensive end.
This LA defense worked on pressure packages all week to get after a quarterback Tashay Winfrey because Austin doesn't have much of a running game right now.
A 3rd and 1, that is Robinson in motion again. Winfrey looking to Robinson and completing a nice looking 9-yard completion. And we talked about it earlier. Kendria Robinson has got to be worked into this offense.
Look at that. She knows how to get open. She finds a seam in defensive coverage and just hooks up. She gets in an area where the quarterback can find her when she's in the middle of all the defensive backs. Great play by Robinson. Good throw by Winfrey.
That'll set up Austin's offense. 1st and goal from the Los Angeles 6. This has been a passing attack that's been able to move the ball on any defense. It's really been the run game that they've struggled with.
And it might struggle more tonight with Michelle Marshall out of the game.
That is a reverse handoff, Rachel Washington. And I believe Washington lost the ball and recovered it herself.
I got you, Lily. It was after the fucking play, you stupid. They said on the goal. You stupid ass bitch. I got it. It was after the fucking play. Yeah. You gotta watch that. It was after the fucking play. Get her next one.
Wow, Lily Granston with Agam Chichindu out with a hand injury. Looks like Lily Granston took up the trash talking for Los Angeles.
Granston not happy about being laid out by Kendria Robinson. Robinson, a very physical player. And this looks to be an Austin timeout with 5 minutes remaining. Los Angeles leading this one 7-0. And Robinson unloading on Cranston.
Okay, look, handoff, fake handoff. That's what you did. Quarterback tried to go backside. You didn't have the ball this time. Stay home, watch this shit. Play up a little tighter on this, okay? Okay, you good?
That is LA head coach Tui Soinoa. We have Coach Soinoa mic'd up tonight. Lily Cranston, before we went to the break, was not happy by Kendria Robinson laying her out.
That is one of the finest blocks I've seen this year by Kendria Robinson. A clean hit on Lily Cranston, just almost took her head off.
A 2nd and goal. Ball at the Los Angeles 9, and we've got a penalty here. Indication is that it should be on Austin. A lot of jawing back and forth early.
I think they're going to call that on Los Angeles. It looked like Megan Hansen did a fake snap count.
That is head referee Jason Gardner.
Delay a game. Delay a game. Number 17 on the defense. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
I'm talking to my team.
But you can't say anything that sounds like a snap count.
It wasn't a snap count. I said hey to my girls right here.
You didn't. It was somebody on that side.
No, I know. That's what he's saying, but that's not what happened.
Megan Hansen mic'd up explaining she was just merely having a conversation with her teammates, not necessarily calling the cadence for Austin.
I think she obviously tried to do a simulated snap count to fool the Austin line, and she got called for it.
After that Hansen penalty, it'll be 2nd and goal at the 4 of Los Angeles. Robinson deep in the backfield. You can see that LA defense chomping at the bit. Handoff to Robinson. And Robinson gets into the end zone for an Austin touchdown.
Kendria Robinson, she doesn't look big, but she runs like a bulldozer. She followed the block of Brenda Lynn. They had Brenda Lynn in the backfield for blocking in front of her. She cut it outside and literally ran over Lily Cranston. Cranston getting destroyed on this series.
Brenda Lynn, if you want anybody as your lead blocker, standing in at 5'7", nearly 180 pounds, that's a pretty good fullback.
Again, I got to hand it to head coach Mike Oliveira. He puts Brenda Lynn in the backfield as a blocker. Great call, great block, touchdown Austin.
A great answer by this Austin offense. After giving up 7 points early in the first quarter, they are on the doorstep of tying this game. Handoff to Robinson, the LA defense, all over number 4, led by Chelsea Hart and Danielle Harvey.
You made a great point after the disastrous first play of the game where they gave a touchdown to Los Angeles. It was a great answer by Austin. They're back in this ball game.
A very impressive 7-play, 35-yard drive, chewing up nearly 5 minutes of clock. As LA's offense comes back out on the field, Kiera Patterson will remain the quarterback.
Kiera Patterson is not a bad quarterback. It's going to be interesting to see how she plays tonight in her first start of the year.
A 1st and 10 for the Los Angeles offense. Ball at the 15-yard line. Patterson back to pass, looking down the field. Everybody's covered, taking off and getting blown up by Anna Garza. We've got Patterson and Garza mic'd up. Let's listen in.
Classic form tackle, 5'2", Anna Garza just drove her into the boards.
Holding number 16 on the offense. 10 yards. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Still 1st down.
So a holding call on Kiana Takarangi. That'll set Los Angeles back to about the 6-yard line, make that the 7-yard line. But getting back to Anna Garza, we talk about the Smurfs on the offensive side. She should be an honorary Smurf in that group with the way she plays defense.
That is a lesson to all LFL players, especially rookies. That is how you tackle. You study the game. She's only 5'2". She put her head across the bow, like the bow of the ship, threw her into the wall, a much bigger player. Great play by Garza.
After the Takarangi hold, it'll be 1st and 18. Ball at the 7-yard line of Los Angeles. Handoff to the F-150. And look at Anna Garza come up again. How about the 5'2" corner?
Garza is putting a clinic on one-on-one tackling against one of the best north-south runners in the LFL. She takes her out to the wall. That is how to play defensive back and how to tackle.
Garza outweighed by 40 pounds by Carmen Bourseau. Not impressed with the F-150. You got to love the spirit of Anna Garza. 2 plays in a row. Kiara Robinson is a huge quarterback, and she literally took her out. Now a 2nd and 13. Patterson remains in the shotgun. Here comes the blitz down the field and nearly intercepted. Cassandra Bills, normally one of the best hands on the team, dropping a gift-wrapped interception.
Kiara Patterson throwing off her back foot. She actually had Delaney Hall deep for a touchdown, just underthrew it. And Bills, as a star wide receiver, it's rare to see her drop a ball like that.
After looking at that replay, she made a great play to just get the ball back to where she could catch it. But you're right, she's got to come up with that.
Encroachment on the defense. 5 yards from the previous spot. Still 2nd down.
We've got another encroachment call here. That'll add 5 yards to the LA offense, setting up a 2nd and 8 here. Patterson this time under center. Bourseau in the backfield. Patterson down the field with her strong arm. And in stride was Melissa Romero with Cynthia Schmidt.
Great coverage by Romero. We got all over Romero and Bills in their previous games for not playing good, but they're playing outstanding football. Stride for stride with Cynthia Schmidt, who can fly.
Great coverage by number 9. You're right, we talked about them not being able to tackle. We didn't see them much in pass coverage.
They have totally stepped up their game this week compared to how they played against Atlanta.
A 3rd and 8 ball at the 17. Delayed handoff to Carmen Bourseau. A great interior line tackle by Brenda Lynn as we meet the offensive starters for Los Angeles.
Cynthia Schmidt, wide receiver. Delaney Hall, wide receiver. Aria Waga, tight end. Kiana Takarangi, tight end. Rose Sines, center. Carmen Bourseau, running back. Kiara Patterson, quarterback.
This LA offense being tested on a 4th and 5 toss play. That is Bourseau, the F-150, picking up 11 yards. That'll be good enough for an LA first down as we meet Austin's defense.
Melissa Romero, corner. Cassandra Bills, corner. Kendra Robertson, safety. Anna Garza, safety. Brenda Lynn, linebacker. Nicole Stoffel, defensive end. Allie Dudley, defensive end.
It's going to be interesting. When I spoke to head coach Mike Oliveira, he put in a nickel package to try to stop this run game of LA. I don't understand that. Put an extra DB in there, but we'll see if it works.
And that is Kiara Patterson showing you that arm strength, almost connecting with Kiana Takarangi.
Takarangi has all the physical traits of a great tight end. 5'9", 168. She's only 24 years old, but right there she had hands like feet. You have to catch that ball. It was a great pass by Patterson.
I'm going to go back to an argument you made for Atlanta, not having a true number 2 receiver. Obviously, number 1 receiver on this Los Angeles roster is Cynthia Schmidt, but they really don't have that secondary receiver.
Delaney Hall, she played okay in that first game against Omaha, but you're right, she's not a superstar like Schmidt is.
A 2nd and 10 ball at the Austin 19-yard line. Patterson remaining in the shotgun. Another draw handoff to Bourseau. Bourseau really wrecking that Austin defense now, racking up 12 yards.
What a block by Rose Ciange to center. Look at that hole. You give a hole like that to a back like Carmen Bourseau. I'm surprised she didn't take that in the end zone.
The first quarter coming to an end here. Los Angeles may get another playoff. A 1st and goal at the Austin 7-yard line. Patterson from the shotgun. Bourseau flanked to her right side. That is Schmidt in motion. Handoff, Bourseau getting to the edge. And look at Kendria Robinson. Take your helmet off, young lady. You earned it. That was quite the hit on Bourseau.
I think that was the package that Mike Oliveira was talking about. They had Robinson freestyling back there, just going where the ball is. She followed the ball. What a tackle by Robinson. This is a totally different Austin defense than we saw against Atlanta.
That'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. 7-6 Los Angeles, with Austin fighting back.
Hey, God damn it, fire off the fucking line and kick somebody's ass right now. Score! Score! That's all we need. Let's go.
Coach Suino of Los Angeles trying to instill that attitude of the silver and black.
He can't be happy with his score. Into the second quarter, only up 1 point over an Austin team who barely had any defense in their last game.
2nd and goal now from the 4-yard line. Patterson gonna keep it herself, now option out. That almost looked like a forward lateral to Carmen Borceau. We do have a penalty here. For the moment, the Los Angeles touchdown will stand as we await the call from Jason Gardner.
It looks like they might be calling an illegal forward pass, but I think she was behind the line of scrimmage. As a quarterback, you're allowed to do a shuttle pass like that forward. We'll see what they call.
That'll set up a 2nd and goal for the moment.
Illegal forward pass beyond the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Loss of down, 3rd down.
Now that's big because it's also loss of down.
That is. I think she was behind the line, which would make that legal. I think she made a great play. Patterson, the quarterback, but they called it against her.
The ball backed up to the 8-yard line as this Austin crowd is starting to come to life here inside the HEB Center. Fast becoming one of the better environments for an LFL game.
It's great to see this defense come to life, too, after their last game against Atlanta. They got some fire tonight.
A 3rd and goal. That is Delaney Hall in motion. And we've got another penalty here. This looks to be a delay of game.
Delay of game. Number 1, Los Angeles. 5 yards from the previous spot. Still 3rd down.
Now, following that previous penalty, you should have enough time to get the next play in and call it.
You got to hand it to the 8th man, this Austin Rowdy crowd. Her teammates couldn't hear Patterson, and Patterson wasn't watching the clock, got called for delay of game.
A 3rd and goal. Ball remains at the 12-yard line. Patterson from the shotgun. I think that's about the 13-yard line. Patterson winding up and nearly connecting. That was intended for Scary Sherry Awaga. Cassandra Bills in coverage.
Again, the ball was on the money. Both her tight ends now back-to-back have dropped balls. Another good throw by Patterson.
Here comes a huge opportunity for this defense. A 4th and goal. You get a stop here, and the way your offense is playing, you could have LA on the ropes here.
Absolutely. This defense, I can't tell you how thrilled I am to how they're playing. They're tackling, they're fired up, they're getting the crowd into it. This is great.
A 3rd and goal play. Patterson back to throw into the end zone. And connecting with Scary Sherry Awaga for a Los Angeles touchdown.
Wow, just as I came down on Sherry Awaga in traffic, somehow Patterson delivered a strike. Awaga caught it right in her chest. Great catch, great throw, touchdown, big play by LA.
Sherry Awaga, a big target for Kiera Patterson, standing in at 5'11". I believe the only taller receiver in the league is Jolie Efazekai of Pittsburgh.
She has that Gronkowski kind of look. If she can catch balls like that, she could be a threat for LA.
Now the extra point attempt. This will be a 1-point attempt by Los Angeles. And Patterson keeping it herself. That conversion is good. Los Angeles will now lead 14-6.
Really got to hand it to Kiera Patterson for hanging in there. With all those penalties, delay of game, she came back, scored a touchdown. That's a big touchdown. Like you said, if Austin could have stopped them, that would have been huge for this team.
That could be a play that we come back and look at the end of this game. A huge opportunity for that Austin defense to get a turnover on downs. And now they trail this one by 8 as Tashay Winfrey goes back to work.
They're only down 1 score. And think of the first play of the game. That return for a touchdown, I mean, that was incredible. Without that, it's a tie ball game right now.
1st and 10, ball at the Austin 15-yard line. Faking the handoff, Winfrey. That is your run game if you're Austin. Winfrey gaining 11 yards. You talked about it. Michelle Marshall, their starting running back, is out, so we are going to see a lot of this.
Spread option. This is why we compare her to Cam Newton. Watch her destroy Tiana Anderson. Boom, one-on-one. She just doesn't try to go around her. Bam, right through her.
Austin's offense continuing to churn here. Another 1st and 10, this time from the LA 24-yard line. An empty back set. Winfrey will go under center this time. And a quick screen to Cassandra Bills. Look at that LA defense led by Naja Christmas. That'll limit Bills to about 2 yards.
I like the call by Michael Lavere. It was a twin set to the left. They tried a quick tunnel screen to Bills. Bills, if she keeps it outside, you go inside, then come back outside. But she ran inside to all the traffic, all the linebackers coming right at her.
Make that a 3-yard reception by Bills. They like her in the open field. They want to get her more touches.
That's it. I like the call a lot. Just get her the football and let her go.
A 2nd and 7. Kendria Robinson flanking to the left of Winfrey. As we are under 7 minutes remaining, that handoff to Robinson, evading tacklers and managing to gain 5 yards. Again, I go back to this at the risk of sounding like a broken record. Why is Robinson not getting more touches?
That was an outstanding play by Robinson. A bad read by Tashay Winfrey. It's a spread option. She should have kept the football. There's the hole. She keeps it. She gives it to Robinson, and she makes something out of nothing. She's that classic satellite player. You can put her in any position, and she makes things happen.
A 3rd and 2 after that 5-yard carry by Robinson. Tashay Winfrey very comfortable in the shotgun. Dropping back to pass, excellent coverage and throws into coverage. Nearly intercepted by Danielle Harvey.
Bills actually makes a good play to stop this from being an interception. She comes back to the football, still almost caught it. Harvey almost got it. Not a great throw by Winfrey, but Bills is that kind of receiver. She almost came up with it.
I thought Danielle Harvey had that ball. That was actually Bills and just dropped it.
He got tipped, went to Harvey, she dropped it. Just an exciting play.
A 4th and 2. Robinson again in motion. Look at Winfrey picking up the 1st down and then some. Playing really physical.
Winfrey's got this team in the crowd fired up. She's doing it all on her own. This is such an exciting offense to watch. You got to love her as a quarterback.
I love the confidence and the swagger that's developing in Austin. We saw it on the defensive side of the ball with Anna Garza, and now you're seeing Winfrey. Perhaps we are watching a quarterback morph into something that we always believed she could be.
If she could have a defense, this team has potential to go a long way in the LFL.
A 1st and goal delayed handoff. That looked like a face mask. Kendria Robinson on the carry. That'll gain 2 yards. Tackled by Naja Christmas.
Watch Kendria Robinson. We talk about having a high motor. She doesn't give up. She gets the handoff. She should have been stopped earlier. There breaks 2 tackles, gets positive yardage, and won't go down. That's called having heart.
I mentioned that may have been a face mask, but Naja Christmas did not grab the face mask, so no penalty on the play. It'll be a 2nd and goal. Ball at the Los Angeles 5-yard line. Austin is sending a clear message. They like what they've seen from Robinson, and they're going to work her into this offense.
Kendria Robinson showing she can play running back. Just think when Michelle Marshall comes back for her injury, that's 2 more weapons for Winfrey.
2nd and goal, ball at the 5-yard line. Winfrey faking the handoff into the flat. Had a receiver. That was Kendria Robinson. And had Robinson caught that ball, she had a lot of green turf ahead of her.
She was looking in the end zone before she looked it in. That's the only thing she's done bad all night. It was a good play by Winfrey, delivering a quick pass. You're right, that should be 6 points.
And somebody's got to look at the helmet of Kendria Robinson after every play she's coming up and adjusting it, and now has to leave the game in a crucial 3rd and goal scenario.
Yeah, that's a shame that she has to worry about her equipment right now when she should only be worried about getting in the end zone.
3rd and goal, a very important play here for this offense. They're not going to get it off. It looked like the Austin bench was calling for a timeout, and they're going to give it to them. They probably saw something that they did not like on that defensive side as we go to break. Austin trailing this one 14-6.
Don't fuck around. There's nothing pretty about this shit. Beat them into the goddamn end zone. You understand that?
Austin head coach Mike Oliveira also mic'd up, cutting it down to the basics, get it into the end zone.
You gotta love Mike Oliveira, classic Texas Austin football coach. Just get out there, do what you gotta do, and get in the end zone.
3rd and goal now. Christina Villalobos in the backfield. Not sure if Robinson's helmet's good to go. And Villalobos looking good, getting to the outside. Now we've got a penalty. And they're still fighting back and forth. We'll see who this penalty goes against, but you got to like the physical play of Villalobos here. As Jason Gardner had a very busy first half.
Yeah, now your asses are finally getting called for stupid ass bullshit.
Ranston saying that was unsportsmanlike on Austin. Let's get a look at this. Oh yeah, that is Christina Villalobos throwing the ball at Chelsea Hart.
That all comes back to Robinson not being in the game because of equipment. Villalobos wouldn't have been in the game. Now she gets called for a personal foul. This could be huge against Austin.
So far, the game MVP or game loser has got to be the equipment manager for Austin. And I'm saying that with a straight face.
You have to keep your composure. You're inside the 10-yard line. You can't get a personal foul.
We'll get the call here again from Jason Gardner.
There are 2 fouls, both against the offense. The first foul during the play was illegal hands to the face, number 16, Austin. That's a 10-yard penalty. In addition, after the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 15, Austin. That is also a 10-yard penalty. Total penalty yard is 20 yards.
Wow. That is pretty big for an offense that was inside the 5-yard line. When you tack those 2 penalties together, they're backed up to the 24 now.
You talk about a buzzkill. I mean, they're going in for 6 inside the 10. Now they got to throw deep bombs just to have a chance of scoring.
The hands to the face was called against Tiffany Merritt, a defensive end. And then we saw Villalobos chucking the ball at Chelsea Hart. You got to keep your composure in that moment if you're Villalobos.
That's a game changer. I mean, it should be a tie ball game. I mean, Austin's killing himself with these penalties.
Megan Hansen, the middle linebacker for Los Angeles, that's something we haven't talked about. Apparently she bit into her mouthpiece and there was a piece of rock and she chipped her tooth and she's heavily medicated tonight.
That could only happen to somebody that plays for LA. There was a piece of rock in her mouthpiece?
I kid you not. We'll see if that impacts Hansen's play tonight. A 3rd and goal, ball at the 21 actually. And now we could have a false start, which would be the 3rd consecutive call against Austin. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 5 on the offense. 5 yards from the previous spot, still 3rd down.
That is just incredible. I mean, they had the ball inside the 10. Now they're on their own side of midfield.
A 3rd and goal. They'll need about 26 yards to get it into the end zone. Winfrey back to pass, certainly has the arm to get it into the end zone, and they could be looking for Bills here. No, they're going to check down. The receiver was open. That was intended for Leilani Lopez, kind of a crossing pattern, just could not connect.
Leilani Lopez, known for her great hands. If she could have brought that down, that was actually a smart pass by Winfrey. Don't try to get it all, try to get half. Then you got a better chance of scoring on 4th down.
Lopez, one of the Smurfs that we talked about in the pregame show. They really like her. Obviously, Cassandra Bills, Michelle Marshall is out, and we have seen what Kendria Robinson can do.
No, they have a real exciting offense. It was fun to watch. It's a shame they got hit by these 2 killer penalties.
Ball at the 24. They'll have to get into the end zone. That is not going to get it done. Robinson wants a penalty, not going to get it as LA will take over.
That actually was a penalty. It should have been called on LA. She was going for the ball and she got crushed. That should be 1st down, Austin. I can't believe they missed that call.
I don't know what Kendria Robinson is doing, kind of motioning over to the LA bench.
We can't get off the line with his hands to the face. Shit. That's what I talked to you about.
That is head coach Mike Oliveira complaining that Los Angeles defense is giving blows to the face of his offensive players.
Well, not only a blow to the face, that's just flat out pass interference. She was not playing the football, the receiver was, and she got crushed.
Now a 1st and 10, Patterson remaining in at quarterback. A low snap back to Patterson. Plenty of time in the pocket and throwing into coverage. Very lucky that was not intercepted. Intended for Cynthia Schmidt. That'll take us to the 2-minute warning here from Austin, Texas. Head coach Mike Oliveira not happy at the officiating. Back to LFL football night, and we sat down with Tui Soanoa to talk about the benching of Ashley Salerno.
Ashley Salerno, regardless of who you are, superstar or not, you do something wrong on this team, there's consequences that you have to pay for. And she had behavioral issues that were detrimental to the team, so that's why she's being benched tonight.
You had to wonder how long Coach Tui Soanoa was going to hold out Ashley Salerno, one of the most exciting quarterbacks in the game. She is in right now.
Anna Garza picking up where she left off. Borso did gain 5 yards. This will be interesting to see how comfortable they are slinging it down the field when Salerno is coming in cold.
Well, Salerno's known as a thrower. Kiara Patterson not having a good night statistically. I think it's a great move bringing Salerno back in.
A 3rd and 5. Ball at the Austin 19-yard line. Handoff, Delaney Hall, the speedy wide receiver. And look who again makes the tackle, Anna Garza.
Anna Garza having a career night, stopping Delaney Hall for no gain. I'm so impressed at the aggressiveness this Austin defense has tonight. They're all over the football.
Here's another opportunity for this Austin defense, as we've got a timeout on the field with Los Angeles.
I want to run right off the top. I want to go empty left, the double post with the fucking arrow route. I want you to look for the middle of the field post, okay? The bitches are way out here. Now just come back with it, get on empty right, and we'll roll from there. You know what? Come back on the next one, and we'll throw something short, okay? We need to move the ball down the field. We need to score before the half. They're getting the ball back, so we need to score before the half.
So it's empty left, double A.
Dude, guard sweep the Sherry, dude. Fucking guard sweep the Sherry. You can't tell me we can't get fucking 4 yards. Hey, listen.
Gotta go, let's go. You three, let's go.
You three.
That's a listen in to both benches. You heard Los Angeles saying we only need 4 yards to extend this drive. And Austin wanting the ball back to tie this game. An all-important 4th and 3. This is Ashley Salerno in the open field. That'll be enough for a Los Angeles first down, colliding with Kendria Robinson. We've got both players mic'd up. Let's listen in.
Go! Woo! Nice hit, baby!
You gotta love the pad leverage by Salerno. She got her pads under Robinson and delivered the blow.
Salerno in the shotgun, quick screen, and that was dropped by Kiara Patterson, who's played quarterback most of the first half. Maybe she saw Mighty Mouse coming up. Anna Garza.
Anna Garza is a beast tonight on defense. I don't know, but Patterson usually starts at wide receiver when Salerno starts at quarterback.
A 2nd and 10 run. That is Carmen Borso. That'll be a 10-yard run by Borso. Tackle was Kendria Robinson.
That's great scouting by offensive coordinator Jeff Loudon. They saw that play. Atlanta did it all night long, just a basic sweep against the cornerbacks, and they got all kinds of yardage on that play.
Apparently Borso did not go out of bounds, so the clock continues to run here. We are nearing the 30-second mark. Los Angeles does have a timeout. A 1st and goal. That is Salerno keeping it herself and barrels her way into the end zone.
Trip set to the left. Watch the stalk block by Cynthia Schmidt on Anna Garza. Just gets in front of her, controls her one way or the other, and that lets the quarterback, Salerno, pick a hole when she gets in for 6.
Schmidt really not known for being a physical receiver, certainly not a blocker, but a great job there on Anna Garza. Now the 1-point attempt kind of lobs it over the defense, does Salerno, finding scary Sherry Awaga. That'll extend Los Angeles' lead to 21-6.
Just a simple release play, kind of like a hot receiver. Sherry Awaga lets her defense man go by. She just turns around, catches the extra point.
Austin does have an opportunity here with 18 seconds remaining. And certainly Tashay Winfrey has the arm, and you got to factor this is going to be Cassandra Bills, as she's done all season, getting behind defenses.
Well, Mike Oliveira said what he's going to do. He didn't like their too deep coverage that LA's plan. They said the safeties are too wide, and the weakness of that coverage is right down the middle. So he's going to open up with something short and then try to come back with a deep post.
1st and 10, ball at the Austin 15. Winfrey back to pass, edge rusher, avoids the rush now, throwing down the field complete. That is Bills, and Bills trying to break the tackle, will not do it. And they don't have any timeouts, Austin. They have got to get to the line. And I don't think Bills knows that the clock is running. They've got to kill it here. For some reason, they stopped the clock. 5 seconds remaining, and Winfrey will get a chance to kill it and have one more shot at the end zone.
They got a lucky break there. I thought they were going to run out of time. But I'll tell you who got lucky was Los Angeles. Bills just a whisker from breaking that for 6 points with her blazing speed. Just a hairline tackle to bring her down.
That's got to be the best home field clock operator I've seen in a while, as that clock should have continued to run. Now Austin getting another opportunity over the middle, intended for Leilani Lopez, had no chance of getting to the end zone.
They tried the quick post underneath, the 2 receivers going deep, nothing there. Great coverage by LA.
And that'll bring us to the end of the first half. Los Angeles leading this one 21-6. Back with halftime festivities after this.
They should not have 20 points on the board. It's missed tackle after missed tackle after missed tackle, and it's fucking unacceptable from every single one of you. I do not want to see defeat on anyone's face. Get out there and go fucking hit somebody.
A fiery Steph Wickett as we welcome you back to LFL football night with a score of 21-6. Mitch Mortaza and Bobby Huco. Now, despite our score, Bobby Huco, if you take away a couple mistakes by this Austin team, they're very much so in this game.
Absolutely. I've said this before, but they are the best 0-2 football team in the history of the LFL. If you take away that return for a touchdown the first play of the game, this game is even right now.
And on Austin, we talked about it in the pregame show, it's Tashay Winfrey really leading the way for him with 77 first half all-purpose yards. For Los Angeles, Kiara Patterson got the start at quarterback ahead of Ashley Salerno. How do you assess her performance through the first 20 minutes of play?
Not a great first half for the quarterback. She was only 1 out of 5 for 12 yards passing. I really expect Salerno to play a lot more in the second half to pick up that offense for LA.
Despite Patterson struggling, LA did manage 21 first half points. Let's look at the scoring. It started early. The first play from scrimmage, Tashay Winfrey being stripped by Kiana Takarangi, and the Aussie taking it to the house to give LA an early 7-0 lead. Then it was Patterson finding scary Sherry Awaga with a 12-yard touchdown connection. Then enter Ashley Salerno. She finally got into this game with a 3-yard touchdown run of her own. On the Austin side, it was the mighty mouse, Kendria Robinson, with a 4-yard touchdown run. That brings us to our halftime score of 21-6. Let's take a look at the stats.
Once again, for Austin, they're one-dimensional in offense, only 4 yards rushing in the first half. They have to pick that up in the second half. And for LA, I expect their whole offense to get picked up by number 8 behind the center, Ashley Salerno.
That'll do it for us here at halftime. Buckle up and lace them up. The second half kickoff is next.
LFL Mobile, giving you access to the gridiron goddesses of the LFL with exclusive photos, videos, live game reporting, and fan promotions. LFL Mobile. Download on your Android or iPhone.
Back to LFL football night as we look at our 2 starting quarterbacks, Kiara Patterson and Tashay Winfrey.
Not great numbers by either of them. 1 of 5 for Patterson, 12 yards, 1 touchdown. Winfrey, 4 of 12, only 46 yards. In her last game against Atlanta, she had 140 in the first half.
This will be Chastity Morales getting us underway in the second half. And that ball will be fielded off the wall. How about Kendria Robinson? She likes being called Mighty Mouse. She's playing like Hercules.
We always talk about lane integrity on kickoffs. Right there, Kendria Robinson stayed in her lane and knocked the socks off of Anderson. What a hit.
I tell you what, not a lot of rookies really impressed me through the 8 years of this league. This has been the best performance of a gutsy football player I have ever seen with Kendria Robinson.
We saw hints of it in the last game against Atlanta, but it's full-blown tonight.
A 1st and 10 screenplay. That is to Cynthia Schmidt, the lanky wide receiver. And Schmidt gaining 14 yards. Salerno in the game now.
Salerno and Schmidt, we see this a lot in the first game. They connected on a deep touchdown. Cynthia Schmidt's got to love having Ashley Salerno back in.
Cynthia Schmidt really coming into her own as a receiver. Now regarded as truly the #1 receiver in Los Angeles. Now an inside handoff to Sherry Awaga. Anna Garza on the tackle.
Garza just playing incredibly tonight, and everybody she hits is like twice her size, and she's taking them all out.
Yeah, we're going to have to start doing some drug testing with some of these Smurfs and Mighty Mouse. They are coming with the lumber all night.
Sherry Awaga is a beast, and Garza just laid her out.
A 2nd and 7 as this Austin crowd trying to get behind its defense. From the shotgun, this will be a draw play. Carmen Borso, Allie Dudley. Great open field tackle.
I don't know what defensive coordinator and head coach Mike Oliveira fed to his defense, but this is a different defense than we saw against Atlanta. They came to play tonight.
That was a 3-yard run by Borso. A 3rd and 4 now at the Austin 23-yard line. You could see Ashley Salerno was suspended for the first half of play back in the game now. Into the flat, finding Borso, and Borso still on her feet. If she could have avoided the wall, that would have been a score. A gain of 11 yards.
Great read by Salerno. Looked like missed coverage by that secondary of Austin. The corners all came in, and nobody was there for Borso.
We've got an injury timeout. Austin trailing 21-6. Back to LFL football now. You can see LFL Medical looking over Los Angeles center, Rosie Sames. That would be a big loss to this offense.
That is a huge blow to that offensive line. The only good thing is they have a veteran, Megan Hansen, replacing her.
And Borso getting lit up by Robinson. We sat down to talk to Robinson about this Austin defense.
Our defense has definitely struggled. I say I come out here, keep a high intensity, keep on hitting. We are small, but at the end of the day, we got to play big and we have to bring that intensity in, let them know that we're not going to be pushed around. So I think definitely just keep hitting, and those hits are going to stick.
There is no question she relishes contact. What a hitter.
Ashley Salerno on a quarterback keeper, cutting it inside and into the end zone. Number 8 in her 7th year. You think she had a little pent-up energy not playing in the first half?
I get the feeling she's kind of pissed off about not starting this game. Look at this talent right here. We know she's a thrower, but also an outstanding runner.
Arguably the most physical quarterback that has ever played in the LFL. We've all seen the viral clips of laying out defenders at the goal line.
The only reason LA's been mentioned as a possible contender to win the championship is because of return of quarterback Ashley Salerno.
The extra point attempt for Los Angeles. They love to look to Sherry Scary Awaga. And Awaga converting, extending Los Angeles' lead to 28-6.
The only way to stop that play, the safety has to come up immediately after Awaga releases, and Austin obviously did not do that.
Mike Oliveira starting to sense this game get away from him. It wasn't that long ago that this was a 7-6 game. Now 28-6 Los Angeles.
Salerno definitely gave a spark to that offense. That's 2 times in, 2 scores for Ashley Salerno, leading that offense in for points.
1st and 10 for Austin. Ball at the 15-yard line. That is a reverse to Robinson, and look at her vision to get to the outside. That is a gain of 13 yards, tackled by Delaney Hall.
She's one of those players, every time she touches the football, she is that dangerous that she can score.
We do have a penalty on the play. Jason Gardner will make the call. It appears it may be on Austin.
Illegal hands to the face. Number 9, Los Angeles. 10 yards from the end of the run. First down.
Check that. That is on Los Angeles. That's Chelsea Hart pleading her case. That has been one of the knocks against Chelsea Hart and the other starting corner, Agam Chichindu. They tend to tackle very high and make blows to the head.
Oh, they go high. Chichindu, she's known for her clotheslining. Chelsea Hart, a clean football player, but she does hit high, and in the head, she got called for it there.
A 1st and 10 handoff. Actually, that was Tashay Winfrey keeping it herself and gaining 4 yards.
You gotta love what a gamer Winfrey is. She never gives up. She takes shots like this. She gets up and keeps coming at you.
That size has really helped her to take some of those hits. We've seen Alex Drake do it, and we saw the price that she paid for Omaha. Tashay Winfrey, I think, a little more stockier and a little more athletic than Drake.
And she knows how to protect herself. Even though she takes a lot of big hits, Alex Drake is so young, she doesn't know how to protect herself when she gets hit.
2nd and 6. Ball at the Los Angeles 8-yard line. And that looked like Los Angeles may have jumped Kiana Takarangi. Winfrey really liking to call her own number here, gaining 7 yards. Winfrey pointing down at Hart. She is not shy to take off with the ball.
Not at all. I don't think they were offsides. I think that just was a floater for a snap from Nikel Stoffel. You know, she has that bad hand. We've seen it all night. It doesn't get back there real quick. It floated that time. It looked like a DE almost got there.
And we've got a timeout on the field. Los Angeles asserting itself. Back to 3rd quarter action of LFL football night. Here from Austin, Texas, Mitch Mortaza and Bobby Hugo on the call. A 2nd and goal, ball at the Los Angeles 1. Now the referee stepping in and holding play for a second. 2 running backs in the backfield. That looks to be Villalobos and Brenda Lynn. The handoff goes to Lynn. And I think all of Los Angeles was expecting that carry. She'll lose a yard.
Well, that was their fridge package. When they saw Lynn lining up behind the quarterback, they all knew she was going to get the ball like the fridge used to, and they stacked her up.
They're keeping Lynn into the game, so she could be in the backfield once again. As you said, kind of a jumbo set. Villalobos, not a small player either, serving as the fullback. 2nd and goal as we approach the 4-minute mark of the 3rd quarter. Handoff again to Lynn. Lynn pinballing her way and just falling into the end zone. Not the most athletic of moves, but she got the job done.
Inside the 5-yard line, she's almost 180 pounds. It took the whole offensive line to almost stop her. She squeezed in.
Brenda Lynn on a 1-yard touchdown. And you know what? With the kind of offense Austin has, they are never out of any game.
Not at all. If you take away, we mentioned it at halftime, you take away the first play of the game and those 2 penalties where they went back over 20 yards, this game's tied up right now.
28-12 score as it stands. Austin will elect to go for 2 points from the 3-yard line. Winfrey under center. Villalobos and Brenda Lynn still in the backfield. Now they're going to fake it to him. Throwing across her body and completing it to Brenda Lynn. We haven't seen this package all year with Brenda Lynn in the backfield.
She's going to get a lot more touches as the year progresses also. Watch this pass run option. Winfrey attacked the line of scrimmage. They came and got her. She just dumped it underneath the Lynn. Great play by Winfrey.
Winfrey very lucky. She kind of floated that ball to Lynn, and the defender barely missed it.
Coach Tui Suanoa cannot be happy with his defense. He's laughing right there, but they're only 2 scores up right now.
Ashley Salerno remaining in the game. So any suspension that she was under has been lifted. A 1st and 10 from the LA 15-yard line. Handoff to Carmen Bourseau. Look at Bourseau still on her feet. She lowered that shoulder. There is a reason. They call Carmen Borso the F-150.
When she has space like this, out in space, just destroying Bills, she is an awesome, ferocious running back. That's the old Carmen Borso right there.
That was a 20-yard run by Carmen Borso. That'll set up Los Angeles nicely at the Austin 15-yard line. Salerno in the shotgun, again to Borso. Trying to get to the left side, will gain 6 yards. And they're going to feed her. And why not? That Austin secondary and front line are not that big.
Not at all. This looks like the old Carmen Borso. That was almost a busted play. She was going right around the outside. She ran into Salerno, cut it back, and still made positive yards.
A 2nd and 4. And when number 8 is in the game defensively, you really have to watch the pass or the run. She gives this offense both of those options. Salerno now taking her time, looking over that defense. A 2nd and 4 from the 9, rolling right, throwing across her body, and connecting with Cynthia Schmidt. Touchdown, Los Angeles.
Just a great pre-snap read. Salerno saw Schmidt lined up against Garza. 5'11 against 5'2. One-on-one, quick post, just throw it high. It's a touchdown.
Cynthia Schmidt really asserting herself as the #1 receiver. We sat down with her earlier.
I would say my comfort level as a wide receiver in the LFL, I'm definitely very comfortable in my position. I'm going to my 5th season. I'm definitely, like, every year I'm trying to get better. It's always a learning process, so it's never the same thing every year. I'm always trying to get better.
I love how Cynthia Schmidt always tries to improve her game more and more every year. She's already an all-fantasy receiver, but we love her that she does this.
The Indianapolis native, originally signed on to play with the Vegas Sin, the last 3 years been with Los Angeles. A chemistry has formed in the offseason between Schmidt and Salerno, where you don't see that necessarily with Kiera Patterson and Cynthia Schmidt.
Well, Schmidt's a go-to deep wide receiver. Salerno's a thrower, gunslinger. Together they make a great combination. You can feel it when they're in the game together. She's a catalyst. She brings out the best of Schmidt's game.
Shea Winfrey and the Austin offense going back to work on a 1st and 10. Trailing this one 35-14. Winfrey back to pass, looking down the field. Double covered, nobody there. And Cassandra Bills was running wide open on the go pattern.
Yeah, I think Winfrey knew where she was going from the snap. If she would have gone through her reads, she would have gone over to Bills. That would have been 6 points for Austin. Just a bad play there by Winfrey.
We talked Winfrey up, but her vision is still not there. It's part of the maturity of a quarterback. She never played the position before 2016.
Yeah, and you got to remember, Mike Oliveira, the head coach, we heard him say that, try to beat him between the safeties, and that's what she tried to do, but she didn't see Bills break wide open.
Another bad snap by Nicole Stofill, and Shea Winfrey kind of lateraled that back out of the end zone. That should be an automatic safety.
She did take the safety. I don't know why she did that. She could have just fallen on the football.
Out of the end zone. Therefore, it's a fumble out of the end zone. Safety.
That is the case. To your point, just recover the football and fall on it. Same result.
She fell awkward too. I hope she didn't hurt her leg, but that's a shame because again, it came down to her center. It's her 3rd string center. We mentioned it how many times, Nicole Stoffel, and she's got a bad hand too. So it's just like it's a costly play again. And we saw it in Atlanta. It's happened again tonight.
A 1st and 10 now for Los Angeles. After that safety by the Austin offense, handoff again to Borso, getting to the edge and blowing up Cassandra Bills. That is a 14-yard carry by the F-150. This is about the part of the game where this Los Angeles run game, specifically Carmen Borso, wear down defenses.
Wear down the defenses. The passing game is on right now with Salerno and Schmidt, and that is going to open up the running game for Borso. And she just destroyed Bills right there. That's the old Carmen Borso.
You can see Salerno taking a lot of time to get every play off. The veteran quarterback well aware of the game situation. This handoff going to Carmen Borso and just elbowing her way down the field. That was a gain of about 6 yards.
I hate to say it, but this looks a lot like the Atlanta game. Here it is again, Austin down 37-14, a lot of points they have to make up.
Jason Gardner's got another call.
Illegal defense. Austin, 4 players in the inside box. The penalty is declined. First down, Los Angeles.
A killer penalty on Austin. It really didn't matter because Carmen Borso chewed up the yardage. It'll be a 1st and 10 for Los Angeles.
You can only have so many players in the box. I can't blame Austin for trying to put more in there to stop Borso, but that's illegal.
Ashley Salerno has all 3 receivers stacked to the right side. Getting the offense set, faking the throw, and now taking off with it up the middle and getting to the outside. You could see she was ready for Melissa Romero. That was a 15-yard carry by Salerno.
Just a basic quarterback draw. She let the rush come in, and then she's just an athlete. Like shot out of a cannon. Gets through everybody. Great runner and attacks the defense. Gotta love her.
That should bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter. A quarter that we saw Los Angeles really dominate, leading this one 37-14 on the legs of the F-150.
You got 10 minutes to win this game. Give me a stop. We need to go score quick. Give me the goddamn ball back. Keep fighting. Keep plugging away.
The constant optimist, Mike Oliveira of the Austin Acoustic, mic'd up as we welcome you back to LFL football night. A 1st and goal for Los Angeles as they lead this one 37-14.
That's why Mike Oliveira is one of the best coaches in the league. He's not only thinking about tonight, he's keeping his team together for next season. This is a solid team.
1st and goal, Salerno from the shotgun. Handoff to Carmen Borso trying the edge. Nothing doing. That is Cassandra Bills, Chastity Morales, all combining on the tackle.
Bills must have got the memo from somebody to make some tackles tonight because she's been all over the field.
I think the memo came from you and I, mainly on the last broadcast. We got on Romero and Bills for being soft, and they cornered me in the production office saying, hey, listen, guy, we are not soft, and we're going to prove it tonight.
And they are. They're losing the football game, but they're playing tough football.
2nd and goal. You could see Salerno very calm and poised. A poor snap from Hansen, dribbling back to Salerno, and somehow number 8 gets it into the end zone for a Los Angeles touchdown.
Ashley Salerno bringing sexy back to the quarterback position, just improvising. Bad snap by Hansen, but she crosses the plains for LA. Wow.
The experience and the confidence that she brings to that Los Angeles huddle, no one else can match.
Not at all. And again, it's nothing against Kiara Patterson. She is a good backup, but Salerno was the girl.
Yeah, that is a luxury a lot of teams do not have. A backup of the quality of Kiara Patterson, maybe outside of Seattle, where they have a Michelle Angel waiting in the wings.
Exactly the point. That's how you win championships, because if for some reason they get nicked up to starter, you need somebody that can win coming in.
Now the extra point attempt not going to get there. That is Rachel Washington. So our score will remain 43-14.
Great play by Washington, just a straight option down the line of scrimmage. Somebody took the quarterback, so her responsibility was to pitch back, and she took her out.
1st and 10 to Shea Winfrey and company, now behind 29 points. This offense, if there's an offense in the league that can make up that gap with 8:46 remaining, it's this offense.
They totally can, because of her and Bill, one of the fastest receivers, most talented receiver in the league. Just throw it deep. They can score quickly.
That is what they'll need to do here. The run game is out the window. And even if you don't win this game, to mount a rally against Los Angeles would be pretty impressive. A 1st and 10, fakes the handoff down the field, tossing it up for Bills. Are you kidding me? On cue, Cassandra Bills delivering on a 35-yard touchdown reception.
Cassandra Bills, lightning in a bottle. Watch this Willie Mays catch. Almost doesn't even see the ball over the shoulder. Splits to safeties. Incredible catch and great throw by Winfrey.
Cassandra Bills has put this league on notice You could see her numbers there, 6 touchdowns on the year. That was her 7th.
That was a one-play drive. This Austin team is never out of it.
Now the 2-point attempt by Austin. Rolling left, seeing Cassandra Bills. That is good. In fact, we sat down with Bills to talk about her dominance.
I think I'm successful offensively because I am quick, I'm fast. I think also a lot of people don't know me, so they kind of don't know like what to expect. Even after watching some games, they're just like, I don't really know what to do. And so once the ball's in the air, I'm like a hawk, and it's like mine, and I want it. And so I'm gonna go get it. So I tell Tisha, you put it out there, I'll go get it for you.
If you didn't know her before the season, everybody in LFL knows her now. That is her 7th touchdown catch this season. Unbelievable.
Yeah, when you watch film on her and see her routinely get behind the defense, and you know these defenses have seen the same film we have, so they're dropping safeties back further, but they still cannot match the speed of number 3.
And she's smart. On the extra point, she faked like she was blocking and came out and caught the ball.
That is a handoff to Takarangi, no chance there. Great defensive surge there, led by Kendria Robinson.
Takarangi has some skills. She just needs more time catching and running the football.
Los Angeles opening up that playbook a bit. We've seen Sherry Scary-Awaga have some success, certainly Carmen Bourseau. Cynthia Schmidt scoring, I mean, the list goes on, and now Kiana Takarangi. A 2nd and 7. You could see Ashley Salerno very intelligent, looking over that clock, watching every second tick off. A toss right, Carmen Bourseau. That'll be enough for a first down, a 9-yard carry by Bourseau.
Bourseau is the bomb at running back, but you're right about the quarterback, Ashley Salerno. She is a wily veteran. She knows how much time's left on the clock, and she will wind it down, take all the clock off. Bourseau having a great season with 7 touchdowns. She's the girl that can grind the clock also.
The perfect back for this situation. You're up 21 points, 7 minutes against an explosive offense in Austin, and you need to churn that clock. Enter number 10. They're going to stay away from Bourseau. This is Kiera Patterson. Patterson, a great athlete in her own, gaining 6 yards.
That's the beauty of this LA offense. There's so much talent. They can do so many things. Patterson, the starting quarterback, can run. She's a great receiver. The tight ends, Takarangi, Awaga, they can all play ball. They can all run the ball.
Those are some tough names on this LA roster. Takarangi and Sherry Awaga.
And Sui Inoa.
Right, head coach Tui Soinoa, absolutely. The clock continues to wind. We are under 6:30 in this game. A 2nd and 4 for the Los Angeles offense. Another toss play to Bourseau. A great backside tackle by Anna Garza, and she's letting them know.
Anna Garza making a performance tonight, trying to get an all-league selection. She's all over the field.
I didn't see this coming from Garza. Garza's actually the backup quarterback. They signed her from Mexico. Apparently she was involved in tackle football down there, and she's making an impact on this roster.
She is all over the field. I remember when she came in at quarterback, she moved the ball down the field.
Los Angeles calling a timeout, and they're leading this one 43-22, but Anna Garza in Austin trying to mount a rally. Back to 4th quarter action of LFL football night. Mitch Mortaza alongside Bobby Huco in a key 3rd and 1 for Los Angeles. Looking over the middle, Salerno well overthrown. That was intended for Kiana Takarangi. That brings up a vital 4th and 1.
Play action pass. She got some serious heat. I think Salerno was throwing that one away. There was nothing there. She just threw the ball out.
4th and 1 at the Austin 14. This Austin defense has had several 4th down opportunities to make a stop. Let's see if they come through here.
Just a morale boost. If they can make a stop here, 4th and 1 against a powerhouse like LA, this can do wonders for them.
A 4th and 1. The defense is 3 yards off the ball. Inside handoff, Sherry Awaga. Brenda Lynn with a great tackle. That should be right at the markers. They're going to mark this a first down. I want to take another look at this.
Watch Brenda Lynn off the edge. She gets to her in the backfield. I don't know. That is close.
They're saying that was a 2-yard carry by Sherry Awaga. I would challenge this.
I would too.
And look at that, Nostradamus, we called it. There's a challenge flag by Mike Oliveira challenging the spot of the ball.
The ball was on the 14. It needs the 13. Lynn's right there, pulled her down. Ah, it's so close. She might have got it. Watch it from this angle. Great tackle.
Yeah, I would say that's almost down to the 12-yard line, and that is the credit they're giving him. They're saying
Austin is challenging the end of the run, the spot of the end of the run.
Austin has elected to challenge. They announced that earlier. We're going to take another look here from the truck. If you watch her left leg or left knee, it appears it advances on the tackle to about the 12-yard line. No, actually the right knee hit first.
When the right knee hits, so I think the ball is past the 13. I think that's going to be a first down.
That is a tough call. Jason Gardner and this crew has his work cut out for him here. And if they don't get a first down, this really sets up Austin coming off that Bills touchdown.
Yeah, they have that instant offense. They can score anywhere at any time.
Head coach Tuiso Inoa and Mike Oliveira on the Austin side, very interested in this call. This could be a big turning point in this game. We're going to take another look at it here. Again, the right knee hits. Where does that hit? That looks to be about the 13-yard line. That would be enough for a first down.
How about the arm strength on Brenda Lynn? Just yanking down 190-pound Awaga. Wow, what a tackle.
They are still looking at it. A very slow process. Now Jason Gardner coming out for the call.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. The line of game was the 13. The runner was down at the 12. First down, Los Angeles.
Yeah, the more we saw it, the more angles we saw, it looked like she totally got the first down. Good call.
A gift wrap call here for Los Angeles. She did get the first down, but that is a key conversion. Now you're going to get to chew up more of the clock, and the clock should start here right on the snap. That's Salerno handing off. Kiera Patterson. Patterson not having the same success that Bourseau has had running the ball. She'll only manage 3 yards.
Yeah, that's an interesting call right there. You usually see Patterson at wide receiver and Bourseau in the backfield with less than 5 minutes in the game. I wonder why they put Patterson back there.
The clock continuing to run as we approach the 4-minute mark. Austin has used all of its timeouts. This defense has got to find a way to keep the offense out of the end zone. A 2nd and 7. Salerno milking every second off that game clock. From the shotgun, rolling right, now keeping it herself. Salerno does give you that dimension as we've seen all game long. That was a gain of 5 yards.
That was the same play they scored a touchdown with. She was looking to throw the ball to Schmidt across the middle, but instead of man-to-man coverage, they had safety help, and Schmidt was not open.
That 5-yard run now setting up a 3rd and 2. And rest assured, Ashley Salerno will be in no hurry to get this play off. Just studying that clock and setting up her offense. A 3rd and 2, this could go to Schmidt. She is a favored target here in the red zone. No, Salerno calls her own number and gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles.
Great things happen when Salerno touches the football. This is the same play, trips left, quarterback sweep, soft blocks, another good block out there by Schmidt, maybe a little hold, but she gets in the end zone.
The only Austin defender that had a shot at Salerno was Rachel Washington, and that was no contest for number 8. As now LA leads it 49-22. This game is blown wide open as we approach the 3-minute mark of the 4th quarter.
Even on the extra point, the wily veteran, she's winding down the clock.
This will be a 1-point attempt, another release play, and Austin with Cassandra Bills finally adjusting to that tight end release play down at the goal line.
I think they know that play by now. She's got a little smile on her face. Every time they release like that, bam, she has to come up, great play.
If you're Austin now, all you can do is continue to try to match the pace of Los Angeles and then play some defense.
And they will. You know Shea Winfrey, she's going to fire this thing down the field. She's fun to watch.
Shea Winfrey having another good night here. Not as much success as he had against Atlanta, but Cassandra Bills did connect with her in the second quarter on a 35-yard touchdown. Now a 1st and 10 from the 15. Winfrey rolling right, looking for anybody. Nobody there, and we've got flags. Winfrey gets tackled against the boards by Kiana Takarangi.
Nothing there. She should have thrown the ball away, but it looks like it's going to come back.
Early indication is that this will be on Austin. We'll get our official call here shortly from Jason Gardner.
Illegal hands to the face. Number 14, Los Angeles. 10 yards from the previous spot. 1st down.
That's hands to the face against Los Angeles' Naja Christmas, bringing new life to this drive.
White hat! White hat! White hat! Rock! Rock!
Coach Tui Sunoa, he's putting defense in right now, the 2 deep secondary to keep them from going over the top.
A 1st and 10 after that penalty. This is to Shea Winfrey taking off herself.
God damn it! Hey, you want to talk shit? I will choke your ass next time. Watch. Watch this shit. Watch, I'm going right at you. Promise. Hey, good shit though. Good shit. Yeah.
You got to like the spirit of Tashay Winfrey. You know who she reminds me of? Kind of dating ourselves. Magic Johnson. Has a lot of fun out there.
Holding. Number 5, Austin. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still 1st down.
She is a lot like Magic. A lot of fire. She talks a lot of trash, but she backs it up just like Magic did.
That was a 10-yard hold on Allie Dudley. That'll back up this offense to a 1st and 20. Ball remains at about the 20-yard line.
Shea Winfrey, she doesn't lose many football games. She just runs out of time.
A 1st and 20 for this Austin offense. They're going to have to score a bunch of points here as we approach the 2-minute mark. Winfrey taking a deep drop, and the edge rush getting to her. And down goes Winfrey.
Hold on! Hey, she get the fuck on me one more time. Swear to God, she get the fuck on me. I'm gonna my ass. Swear to God, I'm gonna my ass.
Winfrey getting a little frustrated now at Chelsea Hart. We've got Winfrey and Coach Oliveira mic'd up.
That's the same thing we talked about pregame. That's the same thing we talked about in pregame. Coach, I understand that.
Face mask. Number 17, Los Angeles. 10 yards from the end of the run. Automatic 1st down.
So after all the penalties on Austin, Megan Hansen gets called for a face mask, giving new life to this Austin offense.
Both Megan Hansen and Chelsea Hart, she got away with one right there too. She went up high on Winfrey and she didn't get a call, but she's taking over for Agam Chichindu as the cheap shot artist tonight.
A lot of people regard Los Angeles for being very dirty, and we saw the bird flown there by Chelsea Hart. They got a lot of personality, a lot of spunk, but teams know going in that they're going to go head hunting.
Well, that's their game. That's how LA plays, and a lot of teams get intimidated by that, but obviously Winfrey in Austin is not.
That'll take us to the 2-minute warning here in Austin, Texas, with the Austin Acoustic frustrated, trailing this one 49-22. Next week, we are in the Mile High City as the high-flying Seattle Mist battled the Denver Dream. Next week on LFL Football Night. Unfortunately for the home crowd here, their team trails it 49-22.
You gotta love Austin, Texas, the home of UT. Two of these players, Winfrey and Bills, could probably start for UT right now.
A 1st and 10, ball at the Los Angeles 20-yard line. Winfrey back to pass, a crossing pattern complete. This time to the 3rd Smurf. That's Leilani Lopez.
2 deep coverage. You got the Smurf coming across under the safeties. Great little throw there and a big gainer.
What do you think? You think the term Smurfs will stick?
I think they are the Smurfs.
We've got another penalty here. Very ugly game late.
Penalty is declined.
So the penalty was on Los Angeles. Austin obviously declines it. It should be 1st and goal Austin from the 9-yard line. Winfrey this time under center, trying to draw that LA defense offside. Quick screen to Lopez, and LA going for the head of Lopez. That was a gain of 3 yards. That time, Lopez is very short, so when you go for it, you're going to get the head.
Leilani Lopez, I love her as a competitor. She's only 5'3", 1 inch taller than Garza. Both of them can't get on Space Mountain when they go to Disney World, but they are players.
Chelsea Hart still pleading her case. A 2nd and goal, a lot of stoppage of play here inside of 2 minutes.
Illegal substitution, Los Angeles, too many men on the field. 5 yards from the previous spot, still 2nd down.
Jason Gardner saying too many men on the field. He's probably going to have to check which league he's officiating in, but Los Angeles apparently had more than 7 players.
That's fucking bullshit! And we didn't know on the goddamn ball!
Coach Suianoa not happy at all. I know they're up 27 right now, but his defense is back on their heels again.
A 2nd and goal, ball at the 6-yard line, make it the 3-yard line. High snap, Winfrey just able to get it off to Kendria Robinson and like a pinball. Robinson will lose 3 yards. She would have been better off just dropping that football as the clock will continue to run here.
Kendria Robinson, she runs like a video game, literally. She's fun to watch. Nothing there, but she tried.
Naja Christmas quietly having a very good game here for this LA defense. We talked about Monique Gaxiola retiring. Naja Christmas and Megan Hansen have really stepped into that role.
Both of them just solid football players. They grinded out, just a stout defensive player.
A 3rd and goal player here, Tashay Winfrey running all over the field and has a receiver. That is Brenda Lynn in the back of the end zone, touchdown Austin.
This is a fun team to watch. There was nothing happening there. She improvised, she came back across the field and found her wide open in the end zone. Austin never quits.
Pretty impressive for 180 pounds running across the field. And give Winfrey a lot of credit. She bought a lot of time with her legs.
Brenda Lynn, just an outstanding offensive player. You can use her on the line, you can use her in the backfield, use her as a receiver. She can do it all.
Now the extra point from the 1-yard line. Winfrey fumbling the snap and just falling on it. Actually, that was Delaney Hall on the recovery, so our score will remain 49-28 Los Angeles.
Another quarterback center exchange problem. Next year they'll have 3 good centers. That's the good news.
Hands team!
Head coach Tui Soanoa wanting his hands team out.
Listen, kickoff. On the right side, we're going to pooch, okay? We're going to pooch. Get it up in the air. Go hit her first and give me the ball.
Austin electing for the onside kick here. Just like the NFL, it will need to go 10 yards for Austin to have a shot at recovering this.
They're going to try the pooch kick up in the air. I'm not a big fan of this. I'd rather bounce it twice and hope for the big hop, but we'll see what happens.
The kicker for Austin will be Chastity Morales. And as Coach Oliveira indicated, she's going to pooch this over that front line of the hands team. Let's see if they have any success with this. Obviously the game out of hand, but they can still mount another offensive rally. That is a high kick sailing into the crowd. Not sure that's what Mike Oliveira was indicating.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was the right call. A pooch kick is hard to execute on a 100-yard field, let alone a 50-yard field. That's way out of bounds.
Los Angeles will take over. All they'll need to do is take a knee, and they'll advance to 2-0, while Austin will drop to 0-3.
Really got a hand at the Salerno tonight. She didn't start, but she came on and really led this team to a lot of points.
Going back to my earlier point with Salerno, in previous years, if she didn't get the start, she would implode and you would see it on the sideline. Tonight, very calm, cool, collected, and when her opportunity was called, she answered.
No mistakes.
Now fakes the handoff. Los Angeles going for the dagger and completing. That is a completion of number 5. Melissa Miles. I had to take a second look at my roster sheet. We've not heard anything from Melissa Miles. And the second week in a row, a team comfortably in the lead, taking a shot late in the game here.
Play action, everybody in the house, including the secondary, thought they're going to take a knee, but they go to the speedster out of Los Angeles, 5'9", Melissa Miles. What a play.
You and I were taking our jacket off. We thought this thing was over, and Los Angeles decides to tack on more points. And I feel like we're a broken record emphasizing this every week. There is a point differential in the playoff system of the LFL, so you will see this from time to time. That is Carmen Bourseau getting in as well. That will extend Los Angeles' lead to 56-28.
It's going to be interesting to talk to Tui Suanoa after the game and the quarterback to find out what that was all about. It might have been just to get Miles a football. Like you said, we haven't seen her in a game. Maybe he just want to give her a shot catching a ball.
Yeah, oddly enough, giving Miles the opportunity, that could very well have been a bench player and wanted to give her some love there.
And I'll tell you what, she made a heck of an adjustment to catch a touchdown pass. I hope that was the reason and not just to put another dagger in him.
Tashay Winfrey will get one opportunity with this offense. 18 seconds remaining here in Austin, Texas. It has been a thrilling game. Despite the score, this has been a fun game to call.
There's only 18 seconds left, and you know what Tashay Winfrey's going to do. He's not going to take a knee.
If I was Los Angeles, I would roll everybody to number 3 side. I'm not sure what happened there. It looks like this may be a delay of game on Austin.
Delay game, number 10, Austin. 5 yards from the previous spot. Still first down.
I don't know how you get a delay of game with change of possession. You see what's coming, you call the play ahead of time, and you just execute.
And you know they're going deep, exactly. That's just a bad play by Winfrey.
Directing Cassandra Bills to the right side does Tashay Winfrey on a 1st and 15 after that delay of game. Tossing back to Garza, the backup quarterback, cannot escape the tackle of Chelsea Hart, and Tashay Winfrey being pushed back to the end zone. Winfrey will probably take exception to that. That stops the clock with about 6 seconds remaining, just under 6 seconds. Naja Christmas coming through again.
Just when you think this game's over, this LA team, they never give up. They don't stop fighting. They throw Winfrey back in the end zone. And another penalty.
Head referee Jason Gardner earning that paycheck tonight. A lot of penalties here, especially in the 4th quarter.
A lot of cheap penalties. Again, that was a shot to the head. I think when Winfrey was on the ground, just like Chelsea Hart did before.
Illegal hands to the face. Number 9, Los Angeles. 10 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Chelsea Hart has been marked by this officiating crew. I think they know what we know. When Los Angeles plays, watch number 9 and watch number 6. Number 6 being Agam Chichindu out of this game. They're more physical corners than you're used to.
That's what they do. You heard Mike Oliveira, the head coach, point out to the refs early in the game, watch those hits to the head that Hart and Chichindu do.
Tashay Winfrey now evading the rush. Looking down the field, has Bills. Connecting with Cassandra Bills, but a little too late, as this game is over. Los Angeles wins it 56-28.
Big win for LA. Great to see their quarterback situation. They're solid, rock solid. Even though Kiera Patterson didn't have a great first half, she's a solid backup. Salerno's totally there. They look real good.
Los Angeles has not played a lot of football this season. This is only their 2nd game. They go to 2-0. Now tied up with the Seattle Mist atop of the Western Conference. That'll do it for us here in Austin, Texas. For our producer, Brian Petrus, my partner, Bobby Huco, this is Mitch Mortaza. We will see you next week from Denver on LFL Football Night.